When Winter Meets Rain, a high school romance. Rain Jameson didn't belong at Westmount Academy, not really. The sleek glass building glittered under the Vancouver morning sun, perched like a crown on the hillside above Kitsilano. Its students were just as polished, flaunting $1,000 shoes and limited edition tech like accessories. They didn't walk, they glided, heads high, voices low. Westmount was a school for the world's future leaders, artists, and elites. Rain? She just wanted a future. Any future. Her UBC scholarship required her to complete 2 years of Westmount's dual credit program. That meant enduring the same hallways as the children of celebrities, tech moguls, and foreign royalty. Rain had made it her mission to survive invisibly, head down, books in hand, words scarce. So when she slammed into a boy in the school library, literally slammed into him while rounding the corner to the quiet reading nook, it was a disaster on multiple fronts. She stumbled, her books flying. "Oh crap, I'm sorry." The boy didn't move. Tall, ice-blonde hair, pale as moonlight, dressed in effortless luxury gray slacks, a white tee, and a suede coat that probably cost more than her family's monthly rent. He blinked slowly, like he hadn't been spoken to by someone who wasn't paid to do so. "Watch where you're going." His accent was subtle. "European? French? Swiss?" Rain flushed. "Maybe you shouldn't stand in the middle of the aisle like a statue." His eyes frosty blue flicked down to her student ID tag. "Rain Jameson, scholarship student." "That tracks," she bristled. "Do you know how arrogant you sound right now?" He gave a careless shrug and turned to leave. "You're welcome, by the way," she muttered. He paused. "For what?" "For not punching you." And just like that, she became known as the girl who talked back to Winter. His real name was Adrien Leclerc, son of a French film producer and a Danish supermodel. Tabloid royalty. Rumor had it he'd been sent to Vancouver after a scandal in Monaco involving a yacht party and a Cartier ambassador's daughter. Rain didn't care. Until she was called into the guidance office. "Rain," said Ms. Henley, the program coordinator, all tight smiles and coffee breath. "We need your help. Adrien Winter is struggling in English literature. He's refusing all tutoring, but you're one of our top students. If anyone can help him, it's you." Rain blinked. "Wait, you want me to tutor Winter?" "He's agreed to 1 session. That's a miracle in itself." Rain wanted to say no, she really did. But when she glanced down at the file showing her scholarship renewal terms, she knew she had no choice. So on Thursday, after last period, she met Winter in the glass-walled study lounge. He was already there, lounging like he owned the place. "You're late." "I'm literally on time." "I said 5 minutes early." She rolled her eyes and dropped her bag. "Fine, let's get this over with." He was impossible, dismissive, distracted, constantly checking his phone. "If I wanted a glorified babysitting session," Rain snapped, "I'd charge extra." Winter looked up. "You have spirit. Most people here don't. Most people here don't need to work 3 jobs to afford textbooks." He studied her for a moment. "You're angry. That's good. Anger sharpens the mind. You're insufferable. That's bad. Insufferable people rarely learn anything." Winter smirked. It was infuriatingly charming. "Maybe you'll surprise me." The tutoring continued. Somehow, Rain kept showing up. And so did Winter. She learned he wasn't stupid, far from it. He quoted Camus and argued about existentialism like a philosophy major. But he hated being told what to do. Hated routine. Hated being in Vancouver. "It's not real," he said once, gazing out the window at the rain-slick streets. "This place. It's like a painting that forgot it's supposed to be alive." "It's real to me," Rain had replied. He looked at her then, not with disdain, but something else. Curiosity. That night, she found herself wondering what Adrien Leclerc was like when he wasn't hiding behind Winter. But good things don't go unnoticed at Westmount. Especially when they don't fit the script, Olivia noticed. Of course she did. Olivia Chandler was the queen bee of their grade, charismatic, sharp, and always a step ahead in the social game. She was the kind of person who knew exactly how to make others feel small while keeping her own secrets hidden behind a perfect smile. Rain had managed to stay invisible for months. But once she started meeting Winter regularly, the school's social radar lit up. "You know he's just bored, right?" Olivia sneered one morning near the lockers. "He'll drop you like a trend." Rain walked away. She didn't owe anyone explanations. Not Olivia, not Adrien, not even herself. But things got worse. A photo leaked. Just a blurry shot of her and Winter walking together. It hit a fan-run gossip page. Suddenly, Rain was getting DMs, hate messages. a few veiled threats. You okay? Winter asked her that day. For once, he looked unsettled. This is your world, isn't it? People with nothing better to do. He hesitated. I didn't mean for you to get dragged into it. Too late. The storm came during debate class. Rain was paired with Winter for a mock trial. She presented her case clearly. Winter, however, dismissed the exercise, entirely playing it like a joke. The teacher called them out. Winter, your partner's putting in real effort. Why are you sabotaging her grade? Rain exploded. Because he thinks this school's a game, that our time is disposable. The class went silent. Winter stared at her, then stood and left. That should have been the end, except it wasn't. Rain found a note in her locker the next day. Come to the rooftop, after school. She considered ignoring it, then she didn't. He was waiting, standing near the ledge with a view of downtown Vancouver stretching into the ocean. Why here? She asked. Because it's the only place no one follows me. She folded her arms. What do you want? To say I'm sorry. Rain raised an eyebrow. Winter doesn't apologize. Adrien does. Sometimes. She stared at him. You're the first person here who hasn't treated me like a headline, he said quietly. You saw the bratty, broken version of me and still showed up. Rain's voice was soft. I showed up because I had to, but you stayed because you didn't. She didn't answer. Instead, she walked to the edge beside him and looked out over the city. The clouds were breaking. A rare splash of sun warmed the skyline. Maybe, she murmured, this painting's learning how to live. Winter turned toward her and smiled. Rain didn't see Winter Adrien for 3 days after the rooftop conversation. It was just enough time to convince herself it hadn't meant anything. That the softness in his voice, the apology, the way he said her name like it mattered, those were momentary glitches in the polished, cold persona he wore like armor. But then, on a damp Monday morning, Adrien was waiting by her locker. You left before I could say thank you, he said simply. Rain blinked. You tracked down my locker for that. He leaned against the wall, almost sheepish, and to give you this, a book. The Stranger, by Albert Camus. Inside was a handwritten note. For the girl who doesn't belong but belongs more than anyone else here, signed A. She stared at it, at him. He was watching her like the world might hinge on her reaction. Rain closed the book gently. You really are a pretentious French boy. Adrien smiled. Their tutoring sessions turned into study sessions, and study sessions turned into walks, talks, inside jokes. Winter Adrien wasn't easy. He was moody, often quiet, sometimes unreachable. But with Rain, he was present. Curious. He asked about her favorite novels, her dreams, the meaning of names. Rain, he said once, trailing her name across his tongue. It suits you. Soft, unexpected, and impossible to ignore. She rolled her eyes but blushed. He called her that often. Softly. Like he was speaking to a memory he didn't want to forget. But good things don't go unnoticed at Westmount, especially when they don't fit the script. Olivia struck again. She pulled Adrien aside one afternoon, loud enough for Rain to overhear. You do realize this is a phase, right? You're bored. You don't date girls like her. Rain kept walking. Later that week, another picture appeared online. This time of Adrien at a yacht party over the weekend. Olivia at his side. The comments exploded. Guess the scholarship girl was just practice. Back to the real world, huh, Winter? Rain saw it during her shift at the campus cafe. Her hands shook the rest of the night. Adrien texted, called, waited outside UBC after class. She ignored him. Until she didn't. He cornered her in the rain. You believe them? He asked, drenched and shivering. After everything? Rain crossed her arms, barely holding it together. I don't know what to believe. Then believe me, it was old photos. Olivia posted them to make it seem like. Like what? That you went back to your world? Because that's what it looks like, Adrien. He was quiet. Then, you think I could go back to that world after meeting you? Rain stared, then turned, walked away, and didn't look back. The next few weeks passed like a blur. Rain focused on classes, her scholarship, her job. Winter disappeared from the tutoring schedule. Rumors said he was flying back to Europe. Something about a new film deal, or his father demanding he return. She didn't ask, until graduation. She found an envelope in her locker. Inside, a plane ticket, Paris. And a letter. You told me once Vancouver felt real to you. You made it feel real to me too. Come find me this summer, if you want, no signature. Just an address. Rain never boarded the plane, but she wrote back. Letters, dozens of them. Sometimes they talked, rarely FaceTimed. Until one winter break, she opened her door to find Adrien standing there. No cameras, no drama, just him. I figured, he said, holding up a snow globe with UBC inside. If I can't get you to Paris, maybe I can bring a bit of Paris to you. He looked all grown up and even more handsome in a new haircut. Rain laughed, then cried, then kissed him on the porch while snow fell around them. Years later, Adrien Leclerc became an award-winning director. Rain published her first novel and even won national and international awards. She has also just signed a contract with an American leading publisher and started working on a much-requested sequel. They bought a house near West Vancouver, quiet and full of light and overlooking the sea. No labels, no headlines. Just two people who found each other in a city painted in rain. No scripts, no masks, just love and the quiet miracle of living. StoryHub launched. First stories here. Thank you so much for joining us in this journey with Rain and Adrien. If you enjoyed their story, don't forget to give this video a like, share it with your friends, and leave a comment below with your thoughts on their love story. And, of course, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an uplifting romantic tale. Stay tuned for more stories that inspire, entertain, and bring people closer together. Until next time!